So you guys really started to take control late in that first half and kind of, take control of the game. What were you guys doing well?
I just thought we started kind of playing more connected defensively, more engaged. When we're kind of playing the style of defense we're playing, you got three guys behind that ball screen that got to be doing their job. Plus, we got to get really good traps. And early on, I felt like we were a little late. They beat our traps pretty quick. And then if they do that, boy, now we're chasing. We're Xing out. We're trying to get to that open three. And we weren't making them uncomfortable. I thought their pace was we just weren't playing at the pace they were on offense. We had to play better, more connected, engaged. And as time went on, we got better at it. And then as we got better at it, I thought our aggressiveness picked up even more. And then their threes became a little more uncomfortable. And so I thought that helped. But I thought, Jamestown, they've probably had 5 or 6 practices. I thought they did a really good job. I thought they had a good game plan coming in. And I thought over time our defense kind of started wearing them down a little bit with that.
How much does the defensive success help you guys specifically on offense? Because it seems like you guys really started to transition well, too.
Well, part of the deal is you're forcing more turnovers. So when you're forcing turnovers, you're hopefully forcing advantage plays offensively. 4-on-3s, 4-on-2s, 3-on-1s, that kind of stuff. And we had a few, if we don't have something from our defense right in that transition, we want to make the defense have to work and run good offense. And I thought the first half, that last 7 or 8 minutes, I thought we played with really good purpose offensively. Had good plays in the first 10, but I just felt like the last 7, 8 minutes in the first half, defense to offense was much better. And we had some awfully good shots, and it all came from our defensive aggressiveness. So we got to just keep that going.
A lot of freshmen get involved today, a lot of younger guys. How nice was it to kind of have an exhibition opportunity to kind of get them out there and see what they look like on the court?
Yeah, a little nerve-wracking because it would be nice to do maybe a close scrimmage and not have everybody see, right? But you kind of also want to put them in the environment where the lights are on, the popcorn's popping, parents are here, you're dealing with a lot of distraction stuff, and we wanted to put them in that environment. And, so that's why, and like I said, I think it's really helpful because you play in that setting. Guys like Grayson, Grayson redshirted last year. He hasn't played in a game like that for a couple of years, right? And then with our other freshmen, with Anthony and Marley, that's the first college game they played in. So they had to do it in front of family, friends, and in front of everybody. And I thought they did a really good job of kind of playing through the ups and downs. And as the half kept going, man, I thought all those young guys did I thought Anthony gave us a great spark defensively in that first half. Guga did as well. But I was really happy with overall how those guys as freshmen, how they all performed.
How do you approach an exhibition game like this? Is it something to play with the lineups a little bit, or do you approach it like this is a game we're going to win, like it's a regular season? How do you approach that as a coach?
Well, I think you're competitive. You always want to win, right? I think that's. But for us, this was more about us. It was more about our preparation and coming out and during a game, kind of showing that we can transfer this from practice. When you go against the same guys every day for weeks. You want to play somebody else that's going to maybe do things differently than what you do. And so then you got to respond and kind of figure that out. And it was such a good experience to kind of, we didn't have a great scout on what how they were going to play. We had some ideas based off last year, but, so there wasn't a great film. Coach Bentu did an awesome job with the scout, but we didn't truly know what they were going to do. And so there's a little bit of that kind of figure it out in the 40 minutes, and I thought our guys did a pretty good job of adapting to that.
No Eli King today. Do you have any?
Yeah,
update?
We had 3 guys that I would say a couple weeks ago you'd project those 3 guys to kind of be somewhere in that top 7, and Micah Curtis, so Marley's brother, Micah. Is kind of built similar and kind of have a similar style. He's maybe a little bit more power forward, and Marley's a little bit more of a power wing, I guess. But so we didn't have Micah, we didn't have Eli, who's our only starter back from last year, and then we didn't have Josh Jones, who Josh has been, he's a 6'9", 250-pound grown man that's a junior that's had a lot of experience in Division I basketball. So those are three guys that we're going to expect to be a huge part of what we're doing. And so it gave opportunities for a lot of other guys that are fighting along with everybody else to get time on the floor. So I thought it was a really good night because of that. When you have, we hope next week that all three of those guys are starting to practice and getting back to playing healthy and being ready to go physically. But, time will tell. And then this next week we'll learn a lot more about those three. But, no, anytime you don't have Eli on the floor, he's on the all-defensive team. He made, 50-something threes at, close to 40-something% last year. And he's just a really good basketball player on both sides of the floor. So when you don't have him, other guys need to step up. And, I thought Garrett Anderson from a new guy here and the role he's taken with our team is, he's kind of that guy that has some dynamic scoring abilities. And, I thought he did some nice things as well. So Guga was, Big George was good. Early on the glass, gave us some really good moments and some second shot opportunities. And I thought all the bigs, Ryan and Matt as well, as the game progressed, Matt started getting better defensively and figuring that out a little bit. And Ryan got some good rebounds and made some plays that way. So, we got some depth there. Yep.
I was going to say, how important are guys like Guga, and I know Eli didn't play tonight, but him typically, some of those older guys when you have so many younger faces in the lineup? Yeah,
and they all are. We have 8 returning guys that have been here, and a lot of those guys with us for a couple years. And then so guys like Josh and Garrett, their experience is really important. Eli as well. It's just anybody that's got, I think Jamestown started, 3 seniors, a junior, and a redshirt junior. I mean, they started with a pretty old lineup, but he also played some freshmen that I thought did some nice things for them. So, it's hard. When you're playing freshmen, there's that learning curve. And I just, Marley, Micah, and Anthony, their learning curve's been pretty good. They're coming along. And it was fun to see, but you just get some rest and come back Monday, watch some film, and let's find ways to continue that growth and keep the right mindset and really come out and compete.
So that was, I think, the first college game you've ever had. I know it was an exhibition, but how are you feeling after it?
I'm feeling good, a lot of things to work on, but I feel like throughout the game I kind of got into the flow and, figured it out. So I feel like I'm getting more comfortable.
I was going to say, what were you doing well once you started? The second half, you really started to find a flow. It seemed like, what were you doing well on the floor?
I was being aggressive. I was playing aggressive on both sides, and playing hard on defense led to a good offense. So I also felt like I had a couple mismatches, so I took advantage of that at the start of the second half, and just letting the game come to me.
I know it wasn't like a crazy environment, but there's a good amount of people there, maybe family here too. Was it nerve-wracking at all initially?
There's always jitters when you're in a situation you've never been in before, but, I've been practicing on that floor, for like 3 months now, so I just had to do what I've been doing in practice and put it into the game, so not really that much nerves.
How nice was it to not play someone that you've seen for the past 3 months?
It was good, your teammates kind of, get to understand what you do in the game, and, the opponents can't really anticipate it as well, so it felt good.
So there's a lot of freshmen on this team, and a lot of freshmen got involved today. Is it kind of nice that you're not the only freshman contributing? Is it kind of nice that there seems like there's a group of you guys who are new?
It's me, my brother, Anthony Carson, and me and Anthony and Mike have been playing since high school together. So it's good to be playing on the floor together in college while we played together in high school, and it's good to see that, the transition.
Do you feel like there's going to be a little bit more chemistry developing as the season goes on with so many new faces?
For sure. I think we had good chemistry today, I feel like. But, as you get more comfortable in the real game, that kind of chemistry builds within itself.
Are any of the experienced or older guys, have they kind of helped you out at all? Like a guy like Garrett or some of those more experienced guys, have they talked to you at all, help you get?
For sure. Garrett and Eli and Josh Jones especially, those guys have, kind of taken me under their wing and just continue to correct me and help me and guide me so that I can be the best player I can be. And they've done a great job at it. They've done it since the jump, since I first got here.
So ask some similar questions here. I just asked Marley first off, how you feeling after your first college game?
Feeling good. I was so excited before the game, so it's good to, go out with my guys and compete and, get the win.
Did you have any family in attendance at all?
Yeah, I had a lot of family in attendance. I'm glad that they came.
Was it, talk about the nerves a little bit, did you kind of settle into the game at all? Was there any nerves to it, or were you just kind of like, let's go?
I wasn't even really nervous. I usually get nervous, but I wasn't nervous. I was more excited, but yeah.
So how much is, you had some good finishes at the rim, how much is defensive, abilities part of your ability, I guess? Because it seems like you forced some nice turnovers, like, throughout the day.
Yeah, Coach Ty taught me a lot. Coach Sather, the rest of the coaching staff. In high school, I wasn't even really a defensive guy. It really came this year in practice, and yeah, that's all I could say.
Did you get that from like the coaching staff or from other players? Like where have you kind of picked up that defensive?
It's been the whole team, coaching staff, the team. It's just energy. We all got energy, so I picked it up from them.
What were you doing well offensively when you were finding some success, especially like that first half too?
I try to attack the gaps, do what they give me. Matt's a good pop out shooter, so I know that, hit him in the pop, but attacking the lane. Yeah.
Is this freshman group pretty close? There's a lot of you who are pretty like effective in the lineup so far.
Yeah, we're all close. This is my roommate, so yeah, we all know our personnel, so yeah.
Wait, who's your roommate?
Marley, Micah, Carson, but Marley's my roommate. They're my suite mates, so
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, I got you. So kind of the same chemistry question that I asked Marley there. I know you guys were good today, but do you expect maybe that to develop as the season goes on as well?
It's only going to get better. This is our first game. It's only going to get better.
And are there any senior leaders that kind of stick out, or maybe not even seniors, but kind of leaders, guys who have been there before, who are kind of helping you along at all?
Yeah, I'll say Reggie, Garrett, King, Josh, all them guys that's been here for a long time, they all, make an impact on me, and they motivate me every day. So I thank them.
Is that the kind of thing where they like point out something about your game that needs improved, or is it like, everyday living kind of thing? Like what do they help you with?
Outside life. In the game, like Josh, he was telling me what to do on the pick and roll today. So yeah,
Awesome.
it's all that stuff, to be honest.